Three, two, one. Welcome aboard, my lovelies. How are you? How's it going? Trav here, back with some more spirits, playing some more standard. I made some adjustments to this deck, continuing to play with this deck because I like it and because I'm preparing for Pro Tour Kaladesh. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope I can raise it by 1 point from a 7 to an 8 or an 8 to a 9, 9 to a 10. I hope that everything, all your wildest dreams come true today. As we're up against Bant Humans, we beat this deck once before. Maybe we can do it again. I made some changes, went down to one Unsubstantiate, one Elder Deep Fiend. By the way, this is the first video of mine you've ever watched. Anyone, like you randomly got here, leave me a comment. I hope you stick around. I hope you enjoy as we play some Magic. Also, is there anyone who just doesn't know Magic, but they ended up here and they're entertained? I would love to hear. I love getting feedback. Shout out to the pigs in the audience. Shout out to the furries. What? Did you say that? Yeah, why not? Um, so a thought that I had today that I want to share with y'all is that, hmm, do we want to unsubstantiate that one? It would definitely buy a good amount of time, so I think I'm going to do it. Thought today is that options are wealth. Options are wealth. What I mean is just having choices. I'll make it explicit so you understand how valuable options are. So if you think about the last thing that you failed at that felt bad, like if you didn't get what you wanted in whatever situation that happened, would it change things if you had 100 more opportunities like that, 100 more choices? You didn't get exactly what you wanted this one time, but you have 50 more shots just like that one, right? It really changes things. On the other hand, if we only have one, it sucks. You know, if we're don't have any money, we don't really have options for how to spend it. If we Duskwatch Recruiter, I guess I'm gonna Spell Queller it because I just want to make sure it gets played. Or we in prison, if we're in prison, we don't have a lot of options for how to spend our time. If we don't know very many people, we don't have a lot of social options. If we don't have a lot of if we don't have a lot of skills, maybe we don't have a lot of job options, right? And so on and so forth. So what can you do to increase your options and the things that you want to be successful at? What can I do? What can I do to increase my options? So we're doing all right. We're not really winning on board, although we're in a position where we could start chaining Deep Fiends pretty soon, and that's going to be good. I think on this turn, I'm gonna throw down Nebelgast Herald and tap the Butcher, and then we can decide what to do. I don't really want to stasis snare the Butcher because I would much rather stasis snare the Thalia so that we could have untapped Deep Fiends to block in combat. And F6. Options are wealth, right? Choices. Having more. It's like what is the value of money? Well, for instance, it's a lot of things. You could do this with it. You know, you could invest it in lifestyle. You could use it to help people, give it away. You could spend it on food. You could spend it on coaching, training. You could spend it on physical goods. You can. The most important thing here is you have options, right? You could spend it on options, right? Go ahead and beat down. We have anticipate and stasis snare is what I want to play, right? If you're interacting with a lot of people, then each social interaction means just way less, right? If you have tons and tons of clients for your work, each individual, I'm going to go ahead and anticipate rather than Deep Fiend. Spell Queller is pretty good. any order. And I'm going to stasis snare, try to stasis snare Thalia. So I hope you found that helpful. Let me know what you think. Move on to some other thoughts here. We've played 2 spells, by the way, so the Butcher is going to flip. Other thoughts. We passed 1 million views on this channel. Thank you so much. In the first year, I think is pretty cool. And it's awesome seeing it grow. The daily videos go from 500 to 1,000. That's the worst thing that has ever happened. Has anything ever worse than that ever happened? Jeez. Couldn't have been worse. Dromoka's command, huh? Well, we can always top deck Planar Outburst. Yeah, brutal beat down on the board. Again, we won this matchup once. Okay. Yeah, and thank you so much for all the support. There's a lot of people that would want to see this channel fail, actually. If you didn't know that, a lot of people don't want to see things grow, but I know you do and I do, and it's awesome to watch things happen and to know that in a year we'll have 10,000 views in the daily video or 20,000 or what. It's just a matter of consistency and continuing. I think I'm gonna concede this game just to move on. We could draw the 1 Planar Outburst next turn, and maybe it's worth doing, but it would require revealing that we have Elder Deep Fiend. And with only 45 cards in our 45 cards in our deck, I don't want to like bet on a 1 in 45 chance. It's more valuable to not reveal our Deep Fiends. So, and we're not going to win otherwise. Like, we're just not going to win without Outburst. So I'm going to concede. Not because I'm like, hey, let's give up here, but because I want to maximize our chance of winning the next 2 games. If we do the Outburst thing, or the Deep Fiend thing, it not only reveals we play Deep Fiend, but it also might be a tell that we play Planar Outburst because the opponent's like, why is this person still trying to win right now? What's going on? Stasis Snare. I'm excited for Dromoka's command to go away. I like Bygone Bishop. It plays pretty well with Planar Outburst. And Negate doesn't seem very good here. And then we could play like Blessed Alliance instead of Unsubstantiate, or we could play a hard counter. I think Unsubstantiate is fine. And let's do it. So, continuing the thought on the options, I'm thinking recently about like everything I've wanted that I haven't got, or everything that hasn't gone my way, and how in each of those situations, just having like 5 more the same situation lined up, 5 more other sponsors or clients or opportunities or whatever, it's like how it leads, how it just does not matter. So, oh, did I go to am I playing 61 cards? I don't know how that happened. Tell me your thoughts on that. I want to know what you think. Also want to know what deck you want to see me play next. I know Spirits isn't the favorite of everyone. I'm enjoying it, and it's also productive for me because while I'm probably not going to play it at the Pro Tour, I might, and there's a decent chance I play against it, and a lot of the stuff is still not out yet. On Magic Online, it won't be out until after like 4 days before the Pro Tour, and then I'm going to be keeping a lid on some stuff. Mm-hmm. 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 We have an amazing draw this game. Crazy curve. Crazy curve. And we've got Planar Outburst, Self a Spirit combo, destroy all creatures. Our creatures are indestructible to win the long game if it comes down to it, but the opponent's on pace to be dead, potentially within 2 turns, while we're still at 20 life. It's a good place for us to be. I'm sure the opponent is capable of putting up a good fight. We'll see what they can put together. Probably something. The spirit stack, we just have crazy fast draws. Reflector Mage is kind of interesting. Definitely will buy the opponent time. But we can't replay it this turn. But yeah, it buys them an extra turn, which is a big deal. We can't play Selfless Spirit this turn because of Reflector Mage. And the opponent's going to get to flip their Duskwatch Recruiter by default. So good for them, although we're still winning the race here. And so we can just swing twice. And if the opponent is able to reverse things, then we'll just throw down Planar Outburst. But, ooh, nice. We might be in a position where it makes sense to throw down the Outburst here. I really want to save it to get the most cards possible, but the opponent is now large and in charge here. They're doing good. There's another Mausoleum Wanderer. So if I play this Mausoleum Wanderer, we would attack for 4 and the opponent's going to be dead next turn. I'm trying to think like what could go wrong. I want to go for the kill because we're on pace to take 7. Even if the opponent plays 2 Thalia's Lieutenants, it's not going to kill us. So why don't we just go for the win when there's no risk of losing, right? Like, we can just go for the win, and if that doesn't work out, then we can also just not lose. Options. Right now we have options. Why are we winning this game? Options. We have a lot of options. Technically, on this turn, we don't have so many options. +1/+1 counter and fight. Counter that. Unless they pay 1. They're going to 3 life. And they're going to be dead next turn. They're on pace to be dead next turn. Still can't play Selfless Spirit because of the Reflector Mages. And on our turn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's see what the opponent can do. Again, we have options. We can sweep the board, or we can, it's not wasn't a big deal losing that Mausoleum Wanderer because we have options of more. Thalia, okay. Doesn't really affect us right now. 3 mana, what you gonna do with all that mana? Do we want to wrap things up with Planar Outburst, or if we can win without it? Personally, I would be a big fan of ideally saving it for game 3, surprise. That's always good, is if you can keep info to yourself for the final game. Interesting. Dromoka's command. That's going to happen. Put a +1 counter on target creature. Although, so what do we want to do here? The opponent's at 3 life, and they have 1 blue mana. Is there anything they can do about us playing 2 Selfless Spirits and attacking for 3? I don't think so. And this way we can save Planar Outburst. This way we can save Planar Outburst for game 3. Secrets. I like to keep secrets. Surprise. Attack for 3, the opponent's at 3. Is there a card in the format that... Yeah, I didn't think so. I would have been disappointed to see a Vapor Snag. Okay. Do we want negates for Dromoka's command and Collected Company? Not that bad. Does unsubstantiate suck? Maybe. Maybe we want a hard counter instead. I think we want the tempo of that. I mean, I would play Clash of Wills, but we're going for post rotation. Thoughts? What else? What can I talk about? Um, Here's another thought. Can't spill all the beans, but reps, man. What do you want to be good at? Put in more reps at that thing. It could be anything. There's kind of a reps myth where, um, how do I say this? This is a good hand. There's a bit of a reps myth where people think that all I need is the reps. It helps if you have feedback, if you've got either a coach or you've got a course or you've got books on the subject. But horses coming by. But it's hard to get good at anything without reps. You know, you could have all the shortcuts in the world, all the most advanced knowledge, but you still have to go out and implement. So you can, if you'd like to, add a comment below. What are you? Do we want to play? Oh, the opponent doesn't have green mana, by the way. That could be really good for us. Do we want to throw out rattle chains? I think so. Or do we want to save rattle chains to protect spell queller? I'm actually going to do that. Have selfless spirit to protect spell queller. I want to make sure our queller does not die. Oh, by the way, I just fucked up mana. I was supposed to play Port Town there. So I fucked that one up. Hopefully it doesn't matter too bad, or at the very least I learned from it. Keys, learn from mistakes. Opponent is at 18 life right now. See if they Throbbing Inspector. How bad do I want to keep them from green? Super bad, actually. I'm gonna spell queller that, which is insane, but it's like, to me, the opponent is looking for green, and they could sack a clue to get to green one turn faster. We just bought a turn that way. Yep, and it was confirmed. Great play. So I'm going to anticipate and go looking for a land right now. And unfortunately, the mistake that I made is holding us back because I didn't play the Port Town. And on this turn, it's preventing us from adding a rattle chains to the board. Do I think it's going to cost us the game? Well, it's possible. The opponent has drawn the Revolving Wild, so they're going to get to play Magic. Good for them. And, ooh, Declaration in Stone. Yeah, real big mistakes. And the Anticipate was a gamble, too, because we couldn't rattle chains to protect the spell queller, which we otherwise would have been able to do. So, pretty poor mistakes by me. I like our chances, and I don't mind playing a longer game. But I'm not sure the Anticipate thing was a mistake. It was definitely greedy as fuck, though. How do we want to use this Elder Deep Fiend? I'm not sure, but not right now, because the opponent could tap 4 and Collected Company, probably. I have to imagine, like, why else would they keep this? Tamiyo. Interesting. Super interesting. Choose up to 2 target creatures. If they would deal combat damage, you would draw a card. I'm gonna go... We could, like, use Elder Deep Fiend to tap the thing, and then... I don't want to do that, though. I'm gonna Rattle Chains to stifle that. And then I'm gonna Nebelgast Herald the Throbbing Inspector. So what's ending up happening here is the opponent is spending a turn and they're not accomplishing anything. We could take a turn off to deal damage to the opponent. Mausoleum Wanderer, I'm now aware that we can play that as an instant. We could ignore the Tamiyo and go 6 to the face, put the opponent to 6. But I think I'm going to take out the Tamiyo because the -2 could freeze us for a turn and be kind of annoying. And the -2 combined with the Collected Company could nerf our Elder Deep Fiend play. So for me, it makes sense to wait. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It makes sense to just wait, I feel. Opponent draws a land. Do we want to EDF? I kind of want to let their Coco resolve if they have one. And then, yeah, what deck do you want to see next to let me know? Tremoka's command on Selfless Spirit. I think now would be probably a good time to emerge Elder Deep Fiend. 1, 2, 3. Remember game 1 when I gave up early? See how that was helpful now? Because this is a fucking match-ending blowout. Opponent doesn't know we have this card. Worth it. And throw out Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay, that's my first time using Rattlechain's flash ability. Oops, we have Nebelgast. Too many options. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I kind of want to crack this clue. Planar Outburst. We have too many options. We can win the quick game or the long game. Here's another thing about having options. You don't have to play perfect when you have there's 10 ways you can win. You can pick like the fourth best play and you will just win, right? Because the fourth best play is still a good play. What does the opponent need to get out of this? Collected Company into double Reflector Mage would still not be enough. I'm going to save this Elder Deep Fiend to try to tap the opponent's creatures. Weird, they're attacking. Actually, they might have like a Tragic Arrogance or something. They might have Planar Outburst. That's how they can win. Nope. Really weird. See if they Coco now. Ooh, they have Elder Deep Fiend of their own. And they can tap all 4 of our creatures. And we could Elder Deep Fiend right back, but that's not going to change the math here. There's Unsubstantiate, Planar Outburst. If we had 4, 5, 6, 7, a little bit more mana, we could go in. I like just passing the turn and holding up options. We're at 18. Here's the thing I like about Spirits is options. This deck has a lot of options, right? How do we want to play this? Do we want to play the late game Wrath? Do we want to go for Awaken? Do we want to throw out another Elder Deep Fiend? Do we want to unsubstantiate? What do we want to do? Deck and Stone. That seems like a good opportunity to Elder Deep Fiend. 1, 2, 3. And we have Unsubstantiate up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this deck is good. Let me know what you think about that. Shoutouts. Outros. I had a comment today from Al Levine, who's been providing some of the giveaway stuff. He said, "Yo, Trav, why don't you have a standardized outro? Because it seems like you say different things or don't know exactly what to say." So my outro is a call to action. Like if you've made it this far, you've enjoyed it, and you might want to do something like watch the next video, or you might want to do something like go check out my Snapchat, or you might want to do something like join the group, or you might want to do something like get the ebook, or you might want to do something like subscribe, or you might want to do something like leave a comment. So I'm not always going to have the same calls to action. Sometimes it will be just like, yo, I'm doing this cool thing on Snapchat, see you there, right? So that's why is like the intro will have a dance, the outro we can maybe end with a dance, maybe, or there could be a catchphrase, but the main thing is like the outro is always going to be different, or rather is not always going to be the same. So today, what I would recommend is just leave a comment and let me know what you think about the idea of options being an important form of wealth. So I'll look forward to hearing your 2 cents from that. Is pretty much it. Much love. Have an amazing one. Take action.